talkers up in here. It's time to keep it down right now.
Hey you guys, this is Millennial Mal coming to you guys with our brand new channel. So pretty much with this channel, I wanted to create a space where I would review albums and film, anything media, so that way, you know, music nerds and film nerds alike could come together and we could talk about everything that's going on. So the first video that I thought would be a really good idea to kick off the channel would actually be an album review. 2020 was and is a hard year. It's been a hard year for everyone, but I think that as far as music is concerned, we actually had a really good year in music. Pop made a resurgence this year that took a step outside of, you know, trappy sounds, and we actually had a really good year for R&B too. So I just want to take a moment so we can go over that. Hey, and before anything even starts, go ahead and like, comment, and definitely leave a comment of your favorite album that actually dropped this year, and let me know why. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I wanted to get into are the honorable mentions. I definitely want to do that first, because if I don't do it first, then I'll forget. Because yeah, you know, mental. But yeah, so the honorable mentions, they definitely start off with my fave, my icon, my idol, Miss Mariah Carey. She dropped a phenomenal project this year called The Rarities. It was some remakes and remastering of her old songs, and then she also dropped some new stuff, and then she dropped the beloved live audio from the Tokyo Dome performance, and that was amazing. So yeah, that definitely was a really good project that dropped this year. Did not make my list, but it was great. The next one was Toni Braxton. She dropped Spell My Name this year, and that was a great album as well. Toni Braxton, crazy. Like, her runs that she does within her arrangements are so quick and so fast, and then, you know, she has that tone that's just hella velvety. It's she's always a treat to listen to. So that album was great. The next project that dropped this year was actually somebody new that I was introduced to. His name is Giveon. He is this refreshing new take on R&B. He has like this Broadway-ish sound to him, like kind of reminiscent of Frank Sinatra, but it has like this R&B adaptation that's applied to it. So it's really cool and really interesting to listen to, and I highly recommend you guys take a listen to the EP. And then finally, we have Miss JoJo. One of the best R&B albums that dropped this year was by her. Just, she's a singer. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to give you other than what she's gonna give you, which is vocals. Like JoJo, I remember back, Too Little Too Late, crazy. But yeah, she served up a great project this year, so definitely check that out. So now we can actually go ahead and get into the top albums that I enjoyed this year, and then I'll go over a few tracks that actually stood out to me. The first album I actually want to take a look into, it's not really an album, it's an EP, it's a project, but Tori Kelly. Tori Kelly dropped an EP this year, and it was great. I enjoyed every run that she did, every little melody that she had going on. Like, Tori Kelly is one of those singers that are definitely special, and I was happy that she actually dropped a pop series this year. She did drop like a gospel album, I believe, last year, and it was great. But I really did miss Pop Tori. Back to when she dropped her EP a long time ago. Honestly, I forgot the name of it, but it had great music on it, and this was reminiscent of that. Don't Take Me Home has some of the craziest vocals on that. I literally, when I was listening to the album, I was listening to like the last 45 seconds of the song, and she was just going up into her upper register, and I was just like, can I live up there? Like, can I, immortal, live up there? Like, she was just giving us everything that I needed. Oh, by the way, just in case you don't know, I love a really good soprano. So, okay, so the next album on my list of my top 10, number 9 is Bigger Love by John Legend. John Legend is definitely one of my favorite male vocalists of all time. He just has so many colors and textures to his voice, and I'm just like, how do you fit all of that in one person? he can make so many different sounds, and it just sounds great. I was listening to the album, and the song that he did with Jhené Aiko was a standout to me. They always make great music together. Like, it just makes you feel like you're falling in love. Like, I was listening to the song the other day, and it just like, oh, I move, you move, I move, you move. They have a great chemistry, and they always tend to make beautiful music. And his album was just a great treat this year. It was a really good R&B album, and I loved it, so I definitely recommend it. So the next album we're looking into is actually by one of my favorite independent artists, Miss J Nova. Now, she dropped an album this year. It's called Stages, and I love this woman. It's like she has it's a way that she writes her music and produces it. It's like a R&B, hip hop fairy tale. It's like when you listen to her music, all you see is like misty clouds, and it's like a daydreamy era. But then she comes in with like these R&B riffs and runs. It's magic. Like, literally, her voice is Harry Potter's wand. Like, it's magic. And I'm so proud of her because her first album was phenomenal. It was called All Blue. It came out a while ago, and it was great. It had some of the best music I've heard in a long time. And then she came out with this project. The standout songs that I noticed were Stages, which is the title track, and then also In My Head. And if you guys don't do anything else, I would suggest looking into that because it's chef's kiss, you know. Up to number 7, we have the beautiful Miss Jhené Aiko. She dropped an album this year, Chilombo. Healing. Like, literally put her music in an IV and just stick it in my arm because it just brought me back to life. Like, I was coming home today from visiting my mom, and I had her song on there. She was singing Speak, which is one of my favorite songs from the album. And I literally cried. 10 minutes before I got home, like that last 10 minutes, I just played the song over and over and cried. Because her music, in a way, how she produces it and the instruments that she chooses to use are very healing. She uses like a lot of sound bells and stuff that they use in meditation. And for some reason, it's like her music, it puts you in a trance. It's like, she's like, hey, listen to this, heal all your trauma. So I just do that, and I'm like, I cry, and then I feel so much better. So Jhené actually had a phenomenal album. I greatly, greatly appreciated it. Thank you for dropping that, my fellow Pisces sister. Okay, now moving on to number 6, it's Ariana Grande. She dropped Positions this year. Positions was exactly what I wanted from Ariana. It was pretty much like a full album of the production style that she had with her Christmas EP, Christmas and Chill. That is the sound that I love from her. And she gave us that, and then she also gave us some interesting new stuff with like Point of View, obviously, in Love Language. And don't forget My Hair, where she actually does the whole last chorus in her whistle register. Ariana is showing out. She's a legend. Fight me if you want to. She's a legend. But it was ridiculous. The vocals on there, the production was great, and Victoria and Taylor and Scott Storch, the people that helped her produce this album, write the album, they did a phenomenal job like they always do. I really appreciated this album because I felt like she stepped into the sound that she really, really loves, and you could tell that she loved this throughout the project. She also gave different textures and notes from, you know, her registers, and it was just great. It was a great project to listen to, and it was a no-skip album. Not one. So the next album on my list is actually a sister album. Well, I call it a sister album because one of the writers created it, and this is Victoria Monet's album that she dropped this year, an R&B album titled Jaguar. Jaguar was phenomenal. I want to live in Victoria Monet's mind. She just has this way of writing her music and artistically just communicating everything from like sex, energy, healing, and she incorporates that all into this album, but also throwing in like really like feel good music. Like she ran horns and everything. It felt like cookout music. Like even with Jaguar, she created the Jaguar dance, and you know where you can dance to that, and it sounds familiar. So all my black people, you know, we have those songs like the Electric Slide, blah blah blah. So it felt classic. It felt like this music will last, and I really appreciated that from her. And it's actually entitled Kiki. This is from Kiana Lede. I love this woman. You can tell I love women's music apparently, but Kiana Lede, there's just such an honesty with her music. I was actually introduced to her because I was a really big fan of Scream, the actual series that was on MTV, and she was on there for a while and came out finally with her debut album. And this album, it was just a collection of just honesty and her understanding who she is, what type of relationships that she likes, and what type of relationships she doesn't, the type of relationships that she was in. There's a song on the album titled Honest, one of my favorites. Feel Away, Keep Moving, and Canceled. Like, the album is just a no-skip album, and it definitely deserves to be number 4. Number 3. So we come into somebody I was actually introduced this year, and that is Ms. Rina Sawayama. Like, this album was literally pop perfection. She introduced like these heavy metal sounds, but she also had like this late 90s, early 2000s pop, and it's like she was Frankenstein or something in her studio. She was like, let it live, and it came out, and it was just phenomenal. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, her Excess, brilliant. Chosen Family, Bad Friend, it was all phenomenal. Dynasty, the opener, Dynasty, like when she was in her chorus in Dynasty, like I'm like, sing, girl. She was singing, and she was up there, and she was giving us what we needed to have. And I was really happy that we were finally starting to get like pop sounds back in pop, if that makes sense. Because, you know, everybody's on this whole trap wave, which I love, and it's really catchy, but, you know, it's still, I miss original pop, and it was really nice to have that with a twist to it. Number 2, everybody needs to go ahead and just throw their flowers. Miss Dua Lipa, Future Nostalgia came at the perfect time. Future Nostalgia dropped, like, literally, I live in Georgia, so, like, right when our quarantine hit, Future Nostalgia dropped, and it was amazing. Levitating, I want to dance to that all the time. Like, that was my song. Don't Start Now and Cool, great songs on there. Loves them, but Levitating actually is my number 1 song from the album. Dua Lipa, I have a lot of respect for her because she actually took a lot of criticism for like not dancing a lot and her stage performance and her persona on stage. And she went to the factory, regrouped it. She came out, she was like, hey, I'm finna dance, I'm finna give y'all a show. Here's these lights, I'm a pop star, eat. And what did we do? We ate. We overindulged. Like, yeah, we ate and ate for days. So she really came out swinging, and I feel like her album was great. It was the best pop album that dropped this year, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. All right, time for number 1. So the number 1 album that dropped this year for me, Chloe and Halle, Ungodly Hour. Music, perfection. Production, perfection. Performances, perfection. No one worked harder this year than Chloe and Halle. like, I completely understand why the queen herself, Beyonce, chose these women to create and allow them to grow into their artistry. See, Chloe and Halle were serving us harmonies, were serving us runs, were serving us outfits, like performance after performance. Like, I really think their tennis court deserves an like EGOT. Just give it all to them. A Tony, Grammy, Emmy, Oscar, just give it to the tennis court, because the tennis court was there for every performance. Like, and it was just so funny because they have like this energy, like they know that they're it, but it's so casual. Like the VMAs, BT, like it's crazy. And I really think that they really deserve all the flowers this year. That was the best album that dropped this year, and they got nominated, I believe, for 3 Grammys. So I certainly hope that they win, and that's who I'm rooting for. So Chloe and Halle all the way. Well, I mean, that was my top 10. Please let me know down in the comment section below, what are your top 10? What are your favorite songs from the albums? Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, you know, so we can sit and chit chat all the time long. So this is Millennial Malk, where we react to anything music and film. We also review anything music and film. Come on, step on back, and we'll definitely keep the party going. All right. Peace, guys.